It's close to our house decks. It's really close to our house.
Salida en negativo, está colgando del cinturón de seguridad. Paracaídas balístico, Dino. Paracaídas balístico. Nadie se mueva del lugar, por favor. Nadie se mueva del lugar. Bajamos la música. Hemos tenido una emergencia en la aeronave. Todo el mundo queda en su lugar tranquilamente. Lo van a ir a tener. Ingresa al predio. Con mucha calma. Todo el mundo se queda muy tranquilo en el lugar. Por favor, todo el mundo muy tranquilo en el lugar. Bomberos, ambulancias se van a ir arrimando con mucha calma. No debemos tener ningún otro accidente.
Hey.
Pilots of little planes are asking themselves, what color is their parachute?
It was a beautiful day for flying.
Ernst Kuhn of Neuss, Germany, was piloting his small two-seater 1,000 feet above some idyllic French countryside near the town of Gap. In an instant, it became a pilot's worst nightmare. Out of the corner of his eye, he saw an airplane climbing right toward him.
So what I did, pull a little bit. Then when you see the video, something happened. I believe it was a rope in my propeller.
It sure was. He was ensnared in a cable used by a plane towing a glider. He was dropping like a stone. So what did he do?
The first I did was switch off the engine. And immediately afterwards, pull the parachute.
A parachute not just for him, but for his whole plane. He wafted into an orchard and walked away without a scratch.
I can't understand how it was so, but it was so. It was a moment with, I think, very, very much adrenaline.
Ernst was saved by a rocket-propelled parachute system for airplanes made by Ballistic Recovery Systems of St. Paul, Minnesota. The company claims the chutes have saved 199 lives.
The technology over 25 years has grown from hang gliding industry, light sport industry, ultralights to really current single-engine, four-passenger aircraft.
Cirrus Designs is the first company to build general aviation airplanes with BRS parachutes as standard equipment. Cirrus owner Lionel Morrison is sure glad he had it 4 years ago when a piece of his wing fell off in mid-flight.
Got the plane under control after losing almost 1,000 feet in altitude. Was able to take it out to a remote area where I deployed the parachute and, of course, floated to safety, and, you know, the rest is history.
Lionel is pretty sure that chute saved his life.
Obviously, without the parachute, I would have had no choice but to try to land it, and I just don't know how that would have turned out.
Lionel is back in the air again with an identical plane, and Ernst rebuilt his little bird himself, and, of course, installed a new chute before he took flight again.
Do you think that you are alive today because of that parachute?
Yes, 100%. 100%.
Parachutes cost between $3,000 and $20,000, depending on which plane you're putting it into. Of course, when you ask Lionel or Ernst about
worth every penny.
You know, it's like the credit card commercial, priceless, right? Yeah, there is, yeah.
Why was he I mean, he obviously was rolling videotape on the day that he got caught in that tow line. Why?
He was just having fun out with his pals and just put the video up on his instrument panel there just to record his flight, and caught this amazing thing.
Do they train you? Do you have that in your plane?
Yeah, I do, and I have it in I have a Cirrus, and there's a simulator where you pull the thing. It takes about 90 pounds of pressure. You don't want to do it in the real thing because it's a one-time deal.
In all our designs, the safety coefficient used is a very important part of our concept. In general, the safety coefficient used in the aircraft industry is 1.5. That is to say that if a part should be able to withstand a loading of 4 Gs, then it should not fail at less than 6 Gs. At Dinaero, we decided to choose a much higher safety coefficient of 2.25. In fact, 1.5 times 1.5, or double the standard factor, to ensure there will not be a problem over the life of the aircraft. Speaking about safety, we have done what we can in the structure, but there is also the ballistic parachute. Unlike traditional parachutes worn by the pilot or passengers, the modern ballistic parachute is attached directly to the aircraft. In the event of a collision or other incident, there is the possibility to release the parachute, which is fired from the aircraft using a rocket. Providing the aircraft is above 200 meters, around 700 feet, the parachute can be fired and will open, slowing the aircraft's descent and holding the aircraft at a nose-down attitude to reduce the effect of impact. The descent speed is around 5 meters per second, or 1,000 feet per minute, corresponding to the descent speed of a conventional parachute. But the passengers and crew are additionally protected by the aircraft structure. During flight tests of an MCR-01 ULC, modified for aerobatic flight, the ballistic parachute was deployed in the most demanding conditions. During the test, the aircraft entered a violent and extremely rapid spin, making a turn in 2 seconds and spinning 15 times in total. From the beginning, I sensed this spin would be difficult to exit. I carried out all the conventional maneuvers to stop the aircraft spinning, to no effect. I had a safety altitude of 4,000 feet, and that height fired the parachute. I drew the handle, and within a second the parachute had deployed, opened, and I found myself drifting quietly down to a forest. In an aircraft, there is a pilot, and in many cases, passengers. Having a ballistic parachute fitted to an aircraft is enormously reassuring. In flights over hostile terrain, sea, deserts, etc., the pilot is able to conduct his flight with confidence, knowing that as a last resort, there is an ultimate means of help available.
Puisse gérer son vol d'une manière beaucoup plus safe jusqu'à la fin, puisqu'il sait qu'en dernier recours, il a quand même un moyen de secours ultime.